Na'Vi continues to fight.
Nice knock. He's a recta player, but the thing is, if NRX tries to push space, third party from Roy as expected, very bad decision, very bad. I don't know why you did that, but brother, ew, brother, ew, brother, what are you doing? Oh, by six. Shay, nice one.
Falcons even finding a shot over towards Tiamba. East has been a
Navi
strong
versus
hero in
TJB,
this
the
game.
important
Will get
fight.
rid of that player who has been so
Nice.
important for them
By
playing on outside.
Navi
Navi
to
moves
a
up with Mendes
ko.
over in the front line, but a fantastic shot with a pull action. Will take down Flower.
Navi
And
prediction
Navi
kar jani re?
most dangerous threat to them on this northwest.
Can they regroup though in time?
Nice.
Back on the road.
Navi
নাভি
is back,
শিখে
bhai.
ছিল
Navi is back for real. ঠিক আছে, এই ম্যাচ তো নাভি chicken.
Sent out, but they've been cut off. Their
Navi
টিজেবিরে ভালো
chicken,
পাস
bhai.
দিছে
the pushback
Bye.
in towards the circle
Navi to
will
bhai
be
khel
difficult,
gaya.
but they've got 4 players to do it. In the meantime,
নাভি prediction
IWNRX,
দিতে হবে
they've
না
handled Team Queso, and now it's up to FaZe.
বুঝলাম
আপনি কবে দিলেন
By IWNRX sexy. Well played.
Playing
যাক
off one another. Symbiotic
অনেকক্ষণ
there.
পরে একটা ম্যাচ ভালো যাইতেছে আইডব্লিউর ভাই
IWNRX.
ফ্যালকনের লগে দেখা হয় নাই তাই
Good start. Falcons again taking down players from Na'Vi.
আমি তো বলি এটা
I think
ফ্যালকনে নিয়ে
realistically
নেবে
for Na'Vi, what they should have done is just
বাই
head
প্রিভিয়াস
further
স্টিল
north.
লাইভ
Again,
নাইস
it's whether or not you understand the
আমারও তো
Falcon
লাগে
chance আছে,
ফ্যালকন
কিন্তু
so
তিয়ানবার
fast
একটা
towards
player
this
আছে না ভাই, ওই
location.
খেলা নষ্ট
Remember,
করবে
Falcons
Falcon.
have just been winning fights back to back to
টিএন
back
বা
here.
আউট ডান ও না
So
টিএন
they've
বা
been just
একটা একটা আছে
crushing
গ্রিন
Na'Vi
দেখেন
on this south side. But Na'Vi do
মানে আমি
finally get themselves
টিপি
back into
করছি
position. 6 elims for them. They get a reset on this too.
নাইস
ওই
It's so well
চার
played.
কিল
Again, they are looking for a chicken dinner on this match. That's what Na'Vi want. And with Fury in the wings with 4 players alive,
হ্যাশট্যাগ
Falcons
456
looking
অ্যালাইভ
damn good in this
টপ
game.
3 তে ঢুকে যাবে দুই
It's
টিমই
scary,
লাগে
scary. They do have the compounds to work with.
4 আর 5
Blank. Our 4th, 5th, and 6th place teams all looking for a 3rd place spot right now.
এই তিনটার মধ্যে যে কোনো দুইটা টপ 3 তে ঢুকে যাবে না এই ম্যাচ পরে
The worst of it right
টাকা
now.
মারতে সব
হ্যাঁ
ইশচাতা
They
ভাই,
are
ইশক
ahead in
এই
terms of the
শালা।
points. If they can ladder up a couple of
হেডসেট
placements, that would
সেটা আমি
be big
দেখতেছি।
news for them.
উই
If they can extract some value from
নাইস
118
Furious position
121
out to their east
121
side,
অলরেডি
that would
ঢুকে
be big. But you're right, it's Na'Vi and Falcons, both of these two teams with opportunity
কিন্তু
to
123
push in,
ওরাও ঢুকে
muscle
গেছে
their way through, and join the top 3
দুই টিম ঢুকে
at the
গেছে
end of the day.
It's difficult for Na'Vi as well because I think that they would have liked to maintain over towards that high ground. It was just a very
ও
good
এ
move for
ডিরেক্টর
Falcons
স্ল্যাম
to
লাগাই
decide
দিয়েছে
where
তিয়ান
Na'Vi
বার্সেটা
moved across from because they have essentially taken one of the stronger positions in the lobby. Although these compounds are nice, it would require the circle to head a bit towards that northwest side for them to continue to have presence because Falcons can typically now just play that high ground, right? They can play off the back of that, take shots towards teams as they make their way in. And Na'Vi still have to deal with the player from Tiamba who is waiting in the sidelines here in back
আমার
C.
ইন্টারনেটের মানে ডাউনলোড স্পিড বাফার
Swain
করতেছে,
trying to
আপলোড
get
স্পিডও
info,
বাফার
but he's out
করতেছে। আমি
with the
কারেন্টলি
back to
স্ট্রিম
blue.
করতেছি ইউটিউবে, তো আমার ইউটিউবের স্ট্রিমিংটা অনেক
Moving
বাফার
towards is
করতেছে।
difficult. Furia have control over their north. Falcons force over their west, and you can see action. I mean, he knows there's players over
সিজে
here.
জান দিছো
অনেক বেশি
The
বাফার।
last nade in his pocket there, potentially. XC for Tiamba in the meantime on the northwest side, spotted by Na'Vi,
ওভারঅল
pushed out the back of the building. Top may be able to pick this one off. Certainly we'll see Puncher go for the cross and jump
এখন
back
তো
on in as
পসিবল না ভাই,
well.
কারণ আমি তো এখন স্ট্রিমিং এ আছি
XC
অলরেডি,
looking for
তো
some
এটা
healing
মানে আমার
before he
একটা
makes the
কন্টেন্ট,
move, and
আমি
rightly
এটা
so.
কাইন্ডলি তো অফ করতে
Everybody
পারবো
knows
না।
where this guy is right now, and there is no way that he stays healthy. Opens the door to allow him to use the corner of that wall a little bit more effectively, but I wonder how long it's going to last. Furia, keep IWNRX at bay.
শিওর মানে আপনি এখন ইন্টারনেট কানেকশন অফ
ভাই
করে
অভি ভাই ফ্যালকন চিকেন হইলে আমার প্রেডিকশন ঠিক হইব
For a quick nade out, punches fast on the trigger. Will pick up the elim as well. Very nice. Now can
আমারটাও
move
তো
the
হবে
rest of the team.
একদম প্রথম
Players
আপনি
being
কি
removed. Na'Vi
আপনি
can
কি
focus a
কইছিলেন
little bit more towards their end
কি
game
বলছো
goals now as they control the
ভুল
majority of the
লাগেছে
map.
যদিও
Abi,
আপনি
Furia
ফ্যালকন
getting
বলেন
stuck
নাই
in with IWNRX who are likely
হইতে
to
পারে
বলছি
take
আইএসপি
a
ফুল
4th
সাপোর্ট
place
এন্ড
home
আইএস
here as
ফুল
Kine
সাপোর্ট
tries to get in the vehicle for some fancy
আচ্ছা
movement.
সাইডে ফুল সাপোর্ট লাগাই দিয়েছেন
Actually finding top
এখন
and some shots coming over the top
শাওয়ার
sides
না
from
তখনই
Falcons
বলছি তুমি
towards
দেখো
Furia.
স্ট্রিমে
So
গিয়ে
all hell breaks loose on this top side, and Na'Vi might have just
ওই
found what
নকটা
they
খাইছে
were desperate for.
They were looking
ফিনিশ
for
হয়ে
a
দিয়া
stall
দিছে
of it, which was
আরে
Six.
নক দিছে
East
নাই
finds Lemon
এই,
on the approach. Puncher and Six now
আরে
trying to push
নাইস
out wide. A 1-2 punch to maybe come on through
যে
against the
ফিনিশ
Falcons team. 2 players alive for each of these 2 rosters, but Furia get back up to 3 blank. East
ওরে ভাই ইট নক খাবে রে ওর টিমমেট কই ভাই
কিছু করার নাই ভাই, এখন কি করবে সোলো। নাইস ট্রাই।
টপে ওদিকে রাইটে সামলাই দিয়েছিল মনে হয় ওদিকে এটা কি ডাইরেকশন সরি
Oh, that's frustrating, man. I mean, if they were able to keep Lemon up, and Lemon did a great job to
ভাই
kind of
স্টেট
chase
বয়
them
থাকলে
out
হয়ে যেত
and create opportunity. Smoke went down though, which was so painful for Puncher to try and find that
একটা
shot.
আজকে স্ট্রিম
পেয়ে
It is
করতে,
now 6 and
আজকে একটি
Puncher
স্ট্রিম করতে
left
অনেক
up
ঝামেলা
and
হয় আমাদের,
remaining,
বিডি তো অনেক প্রবলেম,
which is
ওইটাই ভাই। একটি স্ট্রিম করতে যাওয়া যদি
players
শান্তি
that
না পাই
I
ভাই,
would
তাহলে আর
say
কি করবো
were on
বলেন।
the weaker end
মানে
for both
আপনাদের সাথে
Lemon and
কিছুক্ষণ
Flip,
টাইম
but
স্পেন্ড
with
করতেছি,
Puncher, with 6 going
ঠিক
down,
আছে, মানে
Puncher forced
কিছু
to
টাকা
back
হয়তো বা
and
আর্ন করার
try
ট্রাই
and get
করতেছি,
this
একটু
red.
সময় পাচ্ছি এখানে,
Zone
দিনে
9
4
is
ঘন্টা একটা
pushing
জিনিস
in.
পাইপ
করতেছি,
ট্রেডিংটা
Possible
ওইটাও
to
বলে ভাই
So
শান্তি
ninth,
পাইতাছি
nine
না ভাই,
elims
মানে
and
হোয়াট ইজ
a
দিস ভাই,
second place is not horrible.
খুবই
প্রথম
স্যাড
ট্রেডিং
ভাই, এটা খুবই বাজে। হ্যাঁ
ফাইনালি মনে হইতেছে ফিউরিয়া চিকেন যদি না হাগে
ভাই আসলে তাই মনে হচ্ছে যে ওরা হারবে।
হাই গেছে
ওদের
ওরে ভাই
ওরা দরকার ছিল।
এখন আমি পুশ দিয়ে দিব
না ফাক ম্যান
সোলো
এ,
পুশ দিছে
ওই-
গরুর বাচ্চা,
ওই ওই
বান্দররা
প্লেয়ারটা
খাইতে
সামনে
সোলো পুশ টু দাও রাইতে, শালা গরু।
ওই এমনি আগাই গেল না ওই চিকেন
ও মাই গড, সিজে সিজে ভাই কোপ, হ্যাঁ
can you believe it man?
I mean, you've got to thank Top for
ভালো
that
আছে
at the end of this one.
নাতুস
Only Falcons in
ভিনসিয়াস
general. The fact they were able to control that side for so long, and getting a knock as well.
নাদুস
Physical
নুদুসটা
level
চিকেন
is
নিয়ে ফেলছে
Very well placed nades on the top of it. But 11 elims at the end of the game. Really good stuff for them. And they'll be super happy with that one. 21 points. That sees them happily up into a top 3.
Well, Navi getting bailed out a little bit, I'll say there. 6 gets knocked inside the compound, inside a little bit of a building. Go back for the res onto him, but action as he's being chased down in Mad Max style. Gets one knock and a butt ton of damage onto Furia, which inevitably causes Furia to lose that match. But credit to Navi.
এই নেট নিয়ে আমি ম্যাচে ঢুকলে তো ভাই কিছুই করতে পারবো না, মারমু আমার শটে রেজিস্টার হবো না আমি।
Maxman, I know you're happy for this.
Oh, this is a good game.
ভালো।
Ball ছিল না?
happy with how Navi
Internet
played it.
এভাবে?
I can already see the comments
হ্যাঁ,
coming through. Like,
এখন
this is
ওরা
a
বলতেছে
good
যে
game.
ওরা একটু
Man,
রাউটার
sure,
রিস্টার্ট
they
করে
were
ওদের
pushing
এন্ডের থেকে,
circles,
মানে
but they
নেটওয়ার্ক
were
রিস্টার্ট
using
করে, আমার
it to
নেটওয়ার্ক রিস্টার্ট
extort
করতে গেলে একটু
their
স্ট্রিম
potential,
অফ হয়ে
I'll tell
যাবে
you
ভাই।
that much. Like, sure, Falcon helps out Navi in the end there, taking care of a few of the players of Furia, and then they just get the 2 angles behind the ridge after they got the res. Navi played it great, but especially the reason why they got hit in the first place, Jukes, and this is the big highlight of this game in my
CJ
opinion,
join দাও
it had to be that push
This is
against
this.
TJB.
Oh my gosh, that push against
Man,
TJB
you
was
mentioned
ridiculous.
this
And I'm
in
telling you what,
6
Navi, you said it best. I mean, Navi played this circle to perfection. Puncher, 5 eliminations, Lemon with 4. These guys went absolutely nuts. But at the same time, you can't shy away from the fact that Furia got another good
নারুটো বাইর হয়ে গেছে ভাই রুমের থেকে,
Lemon with 4.
এটা মেনশন
These
দিয়ে দাও।
guys went absolutely nuts. At the same time, you can't shy away from the fact that Furia got another good performance. I'd say that they had to win almost every single game if they wanted to be in that fight, and that's exactly what they've done so far.
How many second place finishes have they had
Right.
today? It feels like quite a bit. But definitely being consistent and getting into those top placings. But obviously Furia, to get to that position in the game, they had to rotate in towards that east side of the compound that Navi were at.
Citadel.
And
A
that's where
second.
we were discussing that at the time before
হ্যাঁ।
Furia actually made that move, saying that like, Navi, they're going to have to regroup here.
ভাই নারুটো ভাই নাম কি দিয়েছে আমি নারুটো সার্চ দিতে পাই না
Position.
Yeah, I believe it was a 6 over to the east side, and that's the thing about Navi. They were
Easy
aggressive
way,
at the
বুঝে
right
না ভাই?
time versus Dong Jabao, and they were also passive in fights that really didn't really make too
ওইদিকে
much sense,
ইস্টার
and
লগে
they
যদি
fought
টপ
too much
থাকতো
how they
নাভি
were
ওয়াইপ হয়ে
situated.
যেত
Yeah, we just
তো
don't
টপ
wanna
বলি
fight
বারবার
that
দূর
wide
অ্যাকশন
position Furia. We can just coexist like a symbiote in that compound and just survive into the late game. Have an easy access to a podium finish, and then we'll have to fight later on down the line. So it was again a perfect mix of being aggressive, being respectful at the right time, and the timing was on point for Navi. But Furia, I'm telling you, man, they have
Animation
such
তো
a
অফ
big
হয়ে
fan base. They are
অফ না
gunning for
আবার
that
স্টার্ট
podium
করছে
placing. Sure, they can maybe get a few more eliminations, but they are taking fights that make sense right now. So Furia, they know what they have to do, Hot Jukes, to make up there, and currently the game plan is successful.
Yeah, man, I mean, they had to play this one from the east side towards the end of the game. They were right next to
Navi ঢুকে যাবে
Boy,
টপ
IW,
টপ
NRX.
2 তে চলে আসবে
Pushed their way in little by little. after that big circle shift onto Navi, and they played it so well. So I'm really excited to see, how they finish off.
আমাদের
the
নেটিং
game.
স্কিলটা
Man,
বাড়াইতে
here
হবে
on
দেখছো
day
আমাদের
two,
টিমে
TJB still,
ওদের
I
নেটিং
mean,
দেখলে
the performance they've had today, you got to give
My
them
prediction
their
gone right.
props.
Very
The
nice.
fact that they're able to put anything on the board is still a success.
Mine
I mean,
also.
you got one more game,
Let's appreciate.
and I have a feeling it's going to be a big one, Jason.
Well, think back to what Seven said in his post interview he had.
আমার এখানে দেখছেন ভাই
Wait,
2153 kbps
Their mindset and change the way they're approaching the game, and it seems like all that
অনেক
has
ই
been
খাইতাছে
paying off
ভাই
here. They only get 4 eliminations, but they get themselves the 10
এরপর
points, and
নেতে
it might be enough to
21
push them ever so close to that
21
top 11.
13
Also,
10
Falcons, we didn't really touch on them too
8
much, guys. I feel like the timings, the windows they hit,
still
pretty
last
damn
match
spot
left.
on.
And that Falcons position was tough. They were holding those silos right there on the south side. They had they gate kept likes of Vengeance.
আমার কত জানি বললো কিবোর্ড ইন্টারনাল একটা জিনিস বলছিল মনে নাই কত কত সেকেন্ড জানি রাখতে বলছিল 4
4
সেকেন্ড না কত
সেকেন্ডের
জানি
the likes of
4
Navi,
সেকেন্ড
Tianba, and put some good points on the board. So I mean, yeah, when it comes to Falcons, you got to be happy with 13 points here.
Oh, very happy, but they didn't just get rid of Vengeance. They dropped a nuke on Vengeance. That was a grenade from East. It was insane how good that nade actually ended up being there. It was so clutch, clearing the entire Vengeance, allowing Falcons to remain as almost a full squad. And then it was down to timing. Again, I think timing was very important, was of the essence for all of the teams like Falcons, like Na'Vi, like Furia. Because they hear the fight of Tongjabao versus
লাস্ট
Na'Vi
ম্যাচটা তাহলে আপনি একটু
Northeast,
ব্যাকআপ
near the
দেন
warehouse, near the compound, sorry. And they use that as an opportunity
yes,
to
I am
cross the road,
here.
which at that point is so deadly. If you
আমারে তো গুনলোই না
without any
যাই
space,
হোক
without any cast, team
Vinicius
they're
hat-trick.
gonna spray you down almost instantly. But that timing is
My
perfect. They make
prediction
it to the
gone
ridge,
right.
they clear a
Abdullah
few
Himal.
solos to
Yes,
distract
bro.
Bao, and then they can
Nabio.
truly get involved in that conversation for a chicken dinner contender. So Falcons, sure, it was a bit more silent in the early stages, but the timing was exactly
আচ্ছা
what
গাইজ
it needed to
আপনাদেরকে
be at.
আবারও বলতেছি লাস্ট ম্যাচ
Obviously, with the way the zones played out too, is
স্টার্ট
definitely
হবে
rough for
সুন
any of those teams coming
যারা
from the
যারা
south who
প্রেডিকশন
just
দিয়ে
got
কিছু
heavily condensed
প্রাইস
in towards
পুল
each other,
উইন
especially in
করতে
zone 2
চান
when the
তারা
shifted
আইএনএমে
more northeast.
স্ট্রিমে
Like,
গিয়ে
Puck is
ফার্স্ট
gonna
টু
be the
জনের
MVP of this
মধ্যে
match. It's
প্রেডিকশন
nice to
দিয়ে
see that,
আসতে পারেন
everyone on Navi could be the MVP at the end of the day. That's what we always say when it
এন্ড
comes to
যাদের
PUBG Mobile these
প্রেডিকশন
days. You have to
সবচেয়ে
have
বেশি
a
কারেক্ট
team
হবে তাদের
of
মধ্যে প্রাইস পুল দেওয়া হবে আমি
riders if
স্ট্রিমটা
you want to
এখানে
be one of
শেয়ার
the
দিচ্ছি
best teams in the world, and
প্রেডিকশন
we're
করে
at the
আসতে
best
পারেন
event in the world.
ঘুরে
So it's
আসেন
time for
ঘুরে
you to
এসে
step up.
প্রেডিকশন দিয়ে আসতে পারেন
Everyone
ম্যাচ
must
স্টার্ট
be
হইলে
good. Yes, I agree. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Puncher, 5 eliminations. This is one of my teams to watch. I had Navi on there because they just dropped out of top 3. A win here is definitely going to put them in that running. Yes, sir. All the way up to second place with a little
Nabi,
bit of
which
room to
country?
breathe.
Nabi, yes,
Yeah, TJB are like, oh man, I'm so happy I got 4 chicken dinners. Navi are like, wait, you guys got 4? We only had 3. IW and RX are saying, you guys getting chicken dinners? What? Wait,
Chicken dinners?
Wait, you guys, what even is that? Just that, I don't know what it is. It's a mythical creature of ancient times. No, it's still not getting any of it. But I8 slipping down a little bit, same for Nigma Galaxy, because, I mean, to be completely fair, TJB, Na'Vi are just
শোনা
always
ভয়েস
stepping
শোনা
up
যায়
today, it feels like, especially TJB. These guys have been an absolute menace, and the teams that were normally getting consistent points like I8 and Nigma are just not really getting that same type of result. But it's still really close. I mean, when you're looking at the point gap between those teams in 4th, 5th, 6th position, they can all push it up there. As we head on down, we've seen a lot of squads jumping up in top 11, Jukes, and Ultrigo, Incilio going even deeper down the rankings.
Yeah, but guess who's going up, right? It's Fudia. They move up to 14th place, passing up Virtus Pro for the first time here, and with a nice amount of points as well. But they still have a little gap here that they got to cross, so they're not out of the
TQ
woods yet.
11-তে
Speaking of
TQ
in the
খেলতে
woods, man, I mean, definitely getting towards the last stretch here, right? We got
30
one
পয়েন্টের
more play
ডিফারেন্স
left,
জাস্ট
and I'm looking
16
at
to
the rankings.
11
There are a couple
জাস্ট
teams
একটা
that
চিকেন
are
লাগে ভাই
really
আইএসপি
right, that really need to pop off on this one.
ভালো
And
পয়েন্ট
one of them, I'm gonna say, is Falcons, right? Falcons put some good points on the board on this game. They gotta be happy with it, but they're gonna need more if they want to feel comfortable going into tomorrow. Because right now they have, what is it, not a very large gap at all. Yeah, like what is it, 8 points? So that shouldn't be too difficult to get here. But with how crazy these games are, like
I
we're
see
seeing Navi
টপ
with
11 এ
crazy
থাকতে হলে
chicken
কত
dinner. I
পয়েন্টের
mean,
গ্যাপ
IW
তুমি
and
দেখছো
RX,
23
I mean, it's
পয়েন্টসের
gotta come
গ্যাপ
today, or at least some point in this
হাফিজ
tournament, right?
রহমান
You
হ্যালো
don't want to give them that
হ্যালো
opportunity. So
ভাইজান
if Falcons want to be in top 3, they need to
স্ট্রিম
be
কি আবার
here,
অফ হয়ে
in
গেছে
my
নাকি
opinion.
দামতেরটা
They have that potential, but when I'm looking
by
at
any
Falcons,
chance
and I mean, we've been covering this team for years and
না
years now, they
Sure.
still don't feel
আচ্ছা
like that
ভাই
Falcons
তো
of old. They still don't feel like that old
ফাইজলামি
stalwart
আর একটা
esport, just completely dominating every single lobby. If it was global, if it was local, I have not yet seen that Falcons for a big portion of this year, of course, PMSL was going pretty
আমাদের
decent for
স্ট্রিম
them.
অফ
They
হয়ে
still had
গেছিল
some up and down performances,
গাইস
but
স্ট্রিমটা
it's still not
মাঝে
looking like
মাঝে
the
ইয়া
big
হচ্ছে
matches
আই
that we
থিংক
would
ফ্রেম
expect to
ড্রপ
see from
অর সামথিং
Falcons. The
ক্লোজ
timing,
হয়ে
the
যাচ্ছে
rotates are good, but the
রিফ্রেশ
fragment
করে আবার
potential
সবাই
doesn't
ব্যাক
seem
করেন
as good as
কাইন্ডলি
it once used to be. So
আর
they are
স্ট্রিমটা
in a
লাইক
good
দিয়ে
streak, as you
রাখেন
said, they can make it up there, but we
show
still
your
need to be
support to
getting a
Dante,
few more
guys.
results because right now that sponge at the top is not giving any points to those middling teams.
You know what? I'm actually going to disagree with you, bro.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the reason why I am is because I think that we are seeing the Falcons a
আবার
lot.
কি
I really
একটা
do.
হয়ে
I
গেছে
think we're seeing what they did before. The problem
No.
is everybody else has just gotten that much better. You know what I'm saying? Because they're being decently consistent. They're not far off. from the
লাস্ট
top
ম্যাচ
three.
স্টার্ট
But
হবে
what are
সুন
you gonna do when you have TJB win 2 chicken dinners in a row and
First
average
match
almost
for
10
the day.
eliminations a game this entire day? I mean, that is so difficult to deal with no matter who you are. So it's like, yeah, you're doing solid, but in order to become the champions these days, I mean, solid isn't enough. You have to do something special, right, Jason?
Yeah,
It's putting the blame on TJB for being too good, it feels like.
I mean, that's
Well,
what it is. I mean,
I feel like you can't, you shouldn't really be able to win. You should, okay, let me try to like work out my thoughts here. You shouldn't be able to get top 3 in a group at this level of play without doing something special. Like, I feel like just solid play, it should not be enough to get you into the grand finals directly or to get you the title of the best team in the world at PMGC. I feel like Falcons have shown us during CSA that they do have that potential, but it seems like it's very difficult for them to tap into that potential. And I feel like those big explosive matches we saw when they were under the name of Stalwart just aren't really happening anymore, which I think where Max's core are kind of referring to. They haven't been able to dominate the lobby like we've seen in the past, partly due to the fact that the lobby is just a lot stronger in general.
exactly. That's what I'm trying
And
to say.
it's gonna be very difficult for them to kind of separate themselves from the rest when it comes to the pack. But obviously they have every opportunity. They're still in reach. In the meantime, we got to head down to 7 yet again here for a quick little chat.
Report with the 7WG. This time is going to be in regards to TJB. This team has played insanely today, being able to get 63 points so far, and we still have one more match to go. I got a chance to talk to their coach. Their coach told me that they have been getting lucky with the circles, and they also been making the right decisions, whether it's going to high ground or whatever the case might be. They've been lucky with the circles and making those right decisions. Will they stay at the top of first place? Stay tuned and find out.
That is the question. Can they maintain their position going into tomorrow with one final match left to go? Every team is still trying to get in the top 3 and more importantly solidify their spaces. We do have a little bit of a lead growing in our leaderboards. You know, I talked about the start of the day. We had like a 20-point lead between, what was it, like 15th and 14th.
Yeah.
And then at the top, it wasn't that big of a lead. It was like 11 points between like 3rd and 8th. Well, now we do have a little bit of a gap, looking more towards like 6th to 7th place at 117 to 94. We're definitely starting to see, I think, from the end of this match, which teams realistically will have a chance to break through into top 3. Because right now, like Vengeance, 85 points, they're like 40 points out. I don't think realistically we're going to see them. Get Roy either currently sitting at 94 points. I don't think they have a chance. I think for me, the cutoff is going to be Falcons and above of who can legitimately contest the top 3 places.
We definitely have a pack that's starting to lead the charge into the top 3 position. TJB, Na'Vi are looking super good, but really IWNRX, we've seen them jump in and out. Even Na'Vi, realistically, have been jumping in and out of this top 3. So I have to agree, Jason. I think it's between those top 6 teams. To make it to top 3, and it's going to be down to the wire. I'm telling you, that last game, Hardrooks, it's going to be absolute madness on Miramar heading into tomorrow. So who's going to make it? I'm not sure. We got some that we expect to remain in top 3, but realistically, the top 3 could be completely different tomorrow. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not too shocked.
Yeah, I mean, for real. I mean, if Falcons get the chicken dinner here, we could see them easily in that running. You know, Vengeance, like you mentioned, Jason, I don't see it happening because, like, in order to be the top 3 these days, yeah, you have to be consistent, you know, on pretty much every single map. But you also have to have that crazy pop-off potential to get those like 15+ elimination chicken dinners. And I just, at this stage, with how intense it is, I just don't see that yet from Vengeance. You know, I do see the possibility from Ghetto Roy. I think that they could do it, but it's just unlikely with how everybody else is playing right now.
Well, I had to like go triple, quadruple check before I made this statement because I really didn't want to look dumb because I do that more than enough on my own.
True.
When we looked at Ultra Eager earlier on the camera, Rosemary is back in the roster. And I'm checking on our map feed right now, and like for sure is in the game. So Rosemary, who said he's going to sit out because he doesn't feel like he's playing too good or too well today, has come back in for the final match of this 3rd day.
Let's go. quick break. You know what I'm saying? Quick
Coffee
break.
break's over.
You know, just say, let me shake it all off, and let me get it done, baby, because we got one more game left to go. Let's get it going, Jason.
Well, let's see if he did T-Swift it and shook it off. We're going to head back to our casters here for the final match of day 3 of Group Red with John Allen and Blake.
I mean, they said that they were never, ever getting back together at the end of the day, but goodness me, Rosemary, he's straight back in there, ready to set a fiery brand underneath the alter ego Rosto and Seer. See if they can get their last slice of the pie here in the last map today.
Like, it's not working, Rosemary. Let's take Rosemary out. It's working a lot worse without Rosemary. It's time to get Rosemary back in.
Rosemary's such a good player. Love that guy.
Yeah, I think it does require you to remove a key component from the team before you realize that maybe it was a component that was required to keep the engine running. I do think Rosemary's a great player. I think it's absolutely fair that he has some bad games. I understand his decision, willingness to drop himself back out again to give like a mental refresh, but yeah, the rest of the team needs to step up alongside him, because I think there is a lot of pressure on Rosemary right now to perform at a super high level. He's a very, very good player, and it's somewhat similar to the FaZe situation with Mello right now.
It is a little bit unfortunate, you know, to see teams struggling to really find that identity that they've had in their previous regions, in their previous tournaments as well. And again, it comes back to the power of the overall strength of this lobby. It's really, really difficult to handle, and the pressure seems to be getting to some of our players. Southwest shift, though, and maybe Alter Ego could do something with this. Tong Jiabao as well, and Chumasera, potential for them to get up into the hills, or maybe play to the northeast side.
Yeah, I like Tong Jiabao though. Like, what was the team last group stage doing? Oh, playing Chumasera. I see. Let's do that. We could probably take first place as well from that same position. So Tong Jiabao, play it in Chumasera, not a bad spot. I always think it's a little bit stifling at times when you get a circle like this, though, because with a lot of teams going through this area, a lot of times you are forced to play down towards that south side and take control of the foothills in Chumasera quite early on. But you got plenty of time to loot up here. I think a lot of our teams over towards that north side will allow that to happen. Na'Vi back up into second. Very well done to them, with the Falcons attempting to make their catch up now with 117 points. And IWNRX do claim that third place spot. But again, ASIA really not far behind. And this is a really nice spread of eliminations coming through for Na'Vi, with 6 actually pulling out ahead from the rest of the squad with 23. But it's a 5 elim differential between the best player in the squad down towards Poncha, who is the one with the least amount of eliminations. So again, I think that this is what you need, and right now I think Na'Vi's got one of the best rosters that they could have hoped for on their team.
Absolutely. They have really come in storming to this group, and it's great to see they're now again back in the contest for that first place spot, with TJB not getting as many points as they could have done in that last match, and Na'Vi obviously taking that chicken dinner so that they can keep up pace. Na'Vi, though, up in La Cabrera. They came in late to the previous time around on Miramar.
না ভাই, ডিসকোয়ালিফাই কেন করবে? ডিসকোয়ালিফাই করলে তো খেলতেই দিত না।
So for Vengeance, I am actually quite interested in Vengeance.
So that's what's up,
they
bro.
have stayed pretty consistent now towards an 8th place. I think after that win they were able to pick up, it really lifted their spirits in a big way. Again, their team fight, I am still willing to say that I don't think it's there with the best of the lobby right now. But I think Vengeance has definitely done a bit of a 180.
Guys, one more time, Dante ভাই শোনাস্টরে মিস করতেছি পিএমজিসিতে টেস্ট গেমে।
It felt like they were going to be one of the teams in 15th to 16th.
হ্যাঁ ভাই, ইনশাআল্লাহ আবার যদি আল্লাহ কপালে রাখে কোন একদিন আবার দান্তে খেলবে, যদি খেলা কন্টিনিউ করে, না করলে তো আর হবে না।
There was a huge potential for them to take out the entirety of Falcons.
আচ্ছা, কমেন্ট বক্সে হচ্ছে আইএনএম এর ইউটিউবের লিংকটা দিলাম, যারা যারা প্রেডিকশন দিতে চান টু উইন সাম প্রাইজ পুল, ওখানে গিয়ে প্রেডিকশন দিয়ে আসতে পারেন। ফার্স্ট 2 জনের মধ্যে যাদের প্রেডিকশন কারেক্ট হবে ডেফিনেটলি ওটা স্ক্রিনশট নিয়ে রাখবেন এবং আইএনএম এর ফেসবুক পেজে দিয়ে রাখবেন। সো আমাদের গ্রুপ, এই গ্রুপটা এন্ড গ্রুপ গ্রিন, এই দুইটার যতগুলা ম্যাচ হবে এগুলোর মধ্যে যাদের প্রেডিকশন সবচেয়ে বেশি কারেক্ট হবে তাদের 5 জনকে প্রাইজ পুল দেওয়া হবে। বিস্তারিত জানতে আইএনএমের ফেসবুক পেজে দেখতে পারেন, চোখ রাখেন, ওখানে ডিটেলস দেয়া হবে, কি প্রাইস পুল দেয়া হবে।
That allows the rest of FaZe to come through, and there's the sideswipe, the re-emergence of the player who made that initial dash. Ventores swells in to protect Mela, and it's all up to them. A 4 versus 3 now as FaZe go up to the top floor, but there's ground floor threats as well. Noise to another nade as Kolego finds so much more than he was looking for there with that one, and a drop down. The spin is huge coming through, and Team Queso see FaZe in their sights. The roll up not going to be healthy for them, maybe losing one. Protecting the rest of the team was the name of the game for FaZe, but they may have just thrown them all away.
I mean, Mormon last remaining, 2 players on the outside, difficult fight for them going forward. S12K in the hands, going to try and make something happen alongside with this good first knock. Now just has to close it out.
One more chance, and there's the shot on the crossfire, and Mormon finds 1, 2, and a third as well, but all his teammates fall. FaZe finding 4 eliminations, 3 going over to Team Queso, but 1 from the fall, and at a crucial point blank, look at those points tables. Vengeance, Tianpa, Alter Ego, Incilia,
দুইটা
all of
গ্রুপ,
them
এই
poised
গ্রুপ
to
আর
jump up.
পরের গ্রুপ, দুইটা গ্রুপের
And that
মধ্যে
will keep
যাদের
Team
প্রেডিকশন
Queso down.
সবচেয়ে বেশি কারেক্ট
I'd
হবে
keep
তাদের মধ্যে
FaZe
প্রাইস পুল দেওয়া
slightly
হবে।
ahead. I really don't know
নট
how
লাইক
much further
জাস্ট
they can
এই
make it
গ্রুপের
this game with
প্রেডিকশনের
Mormon
জন্য।
having a fairly central position anyway. Man,
এই
that shot through
গ্রুপটা
the
এবং
hallway
সামনে
though was
আরেকটা
such a
গ্রুপ
nice
যেটা আছে গ্রুপ
fadeaway.
গ্রিন, এই দুইটা
Again, a lot
গ্রুপের
of pressure
প্রেডিকশন
on
যার যত
Mormon's
বেশি
shoulders
কারেক্ট
there,
হবে
but
তাদের
he
থেকে
steps
টপ
up to the
5
plate,
কে
opens the door, and he
প্রাইস পুল দেয়া
will
হবে,
take them all down. Very, very
যেটা
well
ক্যাশ
done to
মানিও হইতে পারে
Maybe talk about
অথবা
Mela,
ইউসিও
right?
হইতে পারে।
That was definitely a show of strength from Mormon. Another point on the FaZe star, but they need to rise higher to fully commit to getting into those survival stages at this point. A good start, sure, but they're only 1 player, and it's not too likely that they can get
প্রেডিকশন
a
রাইট হলে
huge amount more
স্ক্রিনশট
value
কবে
out of
দিব
this game. However, they are
কান্তিলারি?
very central on
ভাইয়া
the
প্রেডিকশন
circle.
গুলো কারেক্ট হলে
Other
স্ক্রিনশট
teams
গুলো
are going to
নিয়ে
move into this
রাখেন।
ground, though, and I think
নেক্সট
that's
যে
where it's
গ্রুপটা
going to
হবে
be
গ্রুপ
dangerous. So
গ্রিন,
4 points
ওটা
and maybe
ওইটার
able
ম্যাচগুলোরও
to just about
প্রেডিকশন
keep them
যদি
in the
কারেক্ট
top
হয় ওগুলা সহ একসাথে সাবমিট দিন গ্রুপ গ্রিনের ম্যাচ শেষ হওয়ার পরে।
Alter Ego down towards that south side now. One of the teams that we were talking about with Tiamba and Vengeance, the 2 teams that they need to rise
গাইজ
above,
একসাথে কমেন্ট করেন,
including FaZe as well.
স্ট্রিমটা লাইক দিয়ে রাখেন, শেয়ার
This is a
দেন,
bit of a last hurrah for them on the day. Definitely doable
প্রেডিকশন
from
দিতে
the
পারেন,
south side.
প্রেডিকশন দেন।
Okay.
আইট 4 নেমে গেছে।
Okay.
He's in.
How did he do that?
He's just a magic man. Demo's got those magic driving gloves, you know?
What, in the sense you teleport your vehicle around?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's cute.
That's how that works.
Yeah. Vengeance now making their way in down towards the south side. Nice bit of high ground to play around with. Always do like this position. It has some slight lips around the side of this compound though, which means you do have to get pretty far out to get any kind of good scouting done. But at this early stage of the game, just heading into stage 2, I think team like Vengeance is not going to be bothered too much by having to take a little peek here and there.
Got a lot of control for their spot. Find their time. Circle coming on in soon. Nearly about to reveal our second shift here on Miramar. Our last Miramar shift of the day. For day 3 here. Red, 10 seconds until we see where we're going to go. Na'Vi very slow on their approach here. Same for Virtus Pro. All the way up on the north side for Na'Vi, the east side over by Impala for Virtus Pro. The circle goes between Chumacera and Los Leones on top of Tiamba's position. Gets a Roy in the middle of it. IWNRX as well.
Yeah, we do shift that. I actually think most teams will be pretty pleased about this as well, John, considering he moves away from those foothills in Chumacera.
Oh no.
Which are always pretty awkward to play around with. Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate. He's going to leave his boy behind.
Guys, I'm back, guys.
You're
I'm
going to give him
back.
the turtle treatment.
Bringing justice to you guys.
And the spin around and the bump up. That was excellently timed. That's like,
Bringing justice
that's
to you
brilliant.
guys.
Can we get a clip on that?
Hello.
I'd love a replay on that one. That was
কেমন
fantastic.
গেল আজকের
IWNRX,
PMGC?
they lose probably about 10 seconds on their rotate there, which in this sort of a stage could be pretty pivotal, but fortunately for them, no one really rotating into the same spot that they were.
চশমাটা যত বাথরুমে চশমাটা
Am I
রেখে
getting
আসছি
a replay of this really? Oh no, okay. It's the
আইসা ভাই কাপ জাপ করে ফ্রেশ হয়ে খালি বইলাম
শাবাশ
He took down the majority of the
যুগ যুগ ভিউ
It was with
Hello?
the 2 last
হ্যাঁ
limbs. Those were all him.
প্রেডিকশন ফ্যালকন
Have an
কান্তিলারি
assist from
তোমারে আর কি কইতাম ভাই তোমার কিছু কওয়ার নাই
গাইজ এই ম্যাচ
goes
গাইজ
Hero,
এনজিএক্স চিকেন হ্যাঁ
and he will be out the lobby.
জোন
আইট নাইমা গেল কেন আইটার ভালো ম্যাচ খেলে নাই
Both them and Team KSO go
খেলছে 5 পয়েন্ট নিয়েছিল লাস্ট ম্যাচে 5 ম্যাচ পয়েন্ট নিয়েছিল
বেশি ডিফারেন্স না তো পয়েন্ট 8 পয়েন্ট
পয়েন্ট প্রথম ম্যাচেই তো 20 পয়েন্ট দেখি টোটাল 25 পয়েন্টই নিছে
এরপরে আর বেশি পয়েন্ট নিতে পারে না
আরে লাস্ট
ব্রো
ম্যাচে 5
ব্রো
পয়েন্ট কিন্তু হ্যাশে 3 4 5 ওরা কামব্যাক দিয়েছে ভালো তো
আরে আরে ওই হ্যাশট্যাগ 16 তো এটা কি ভাই
ডিফারেন্স দেখো
এ আমি কি দেখলাম
17 21 23 25 33 37 জাস্ট 20 পয়েন্টের ডিফারেন্স চিকেন #1 ফ্যালকন
কামব্যাক হয়ে গেছে ও
এই টাকি ভাই
Tiamba actually make a break for
ভাই
decent
ওয়াচ
position
পার্টি সে
in
কল
the
দিব
circle
নি সাজার ভাই
towards the central side of things with Getso Roy once again
হ্যাঁ মাইন্ড
making
কো
a nice little pivot over towards this ridge side.
এটা দেখো তো
Default Getso Roy's rotations honestly
তুমি কি ফ্রেশ হয়ে আসছো না
seeing themselves I would say
এরকম তো
on
ছিল না
top of this pack beneath them who are all vying to stay outside of the bottom 5 because it is really close to be honest. Yeah, Getso Roy not quite as good as our top 6, not quite as bad as our bottom 8. So yeah, it's kind of a funny position to be in for Getso Roy.
I mean, it's a nice, safe position, and I mean, they're rotating into the late game of the tournament, right? And just sort of being there fairly consistently, which is kind of exactly what we've seen from them repeatedly. And it's working out, so fantastic stuff. Hopefully, it will see them safe
তিয়ানবার জোন
a little bit further.
প্রেডিকশন কি দেয়া ফেলছে নাকি সবাই
Maybe they could do something with
প্রেডিকশন দেয়া
on the high ground just to their south. It's going to be difficult to move unimpeded, but the shift goes up to Tianba.
গাইস শুন প্রেডিকশন দিয়ে দেন প্রেডিকশন
এই ম্যাচে আই এম গোইং উইথ তিয়ানবা অনেকক্ষণ পরে
We had
তিয়ানবা
a little laugh and joke about Na'Vi in terms of Seven asking about how Miramar was going to go. It was like, well, we had some bad circles. They weren't great. Once again today, the circles have been pretty far away from Na'Vi. They're like, yeah, we want 20 points, 10 points per game, 7S. No, we want 2 chicken dinners. Well, John, they've succeeded in the first category, which is to win the first Miramar. Now they're looking for the second. And honestly, they are one of 2 teams on the northern side of the circle. They already find themselves a knockover towards the Falcons. Do they just come out swinging?
তোমার আবার কি টেকনিক্যাল ইস্যু
I don't know, man. I mean, best performance on Aaron.
ইস্যুর তো শেষ নাই ভাই
Desert now.
তো সবই টেকনিক্যাল ইস্যু
এর লেগে ডিএম দাও না না
ভাই আমি কিসের ভিতরে ছিলাম ওই ভাই জানে ভাই আরেকজন ডিএম সিনিয়র আছে ভাই what the fuck
আরে ওই এর মতো আর তুমি তো আচ্ছা কি এর মধ্যে আসলা বাথরুমে না
ওই ভাই ওরা কিন্তু পিন্দামো ভাই
এই তুমি লাইভের মধ্যে উল্টাপাল্টা কথা বলতেছস কেন
মানে ভাই তো ভাই ব্রেন ভাই ম্যাচ বিল্ড করে তো ভাই ব্রেন না থাকলেও ম্যাচ ব্রেন
মানুষের
বিল্ড
একটা
করে
লজ্জা থাকা উচিত ওর কোনো লজ্জা
আমার মনে হয় ভাই ও ইচ্ছা করে এমন করে ভাই আমার এটা মনে হয় মানে ও এমনি করে অ্যাটেনশন চায় আমাদের মাঝে একজন আছে মাহির ইসলাম নামে ভাই
IWNRX again bad boy let's see bro IHC will take the win in the chicken dinner Sanil Rahat thank you Ranjil Arifil prediction Falcon guys streamটা like দিয়ে যান সবাই kindly চিওল ভাই ফিনিশ হইছে না আর যাই হোক বটম থেকে উঠো PMGC চ্যাম্পিয়ন টিম লাস্ট বারের ওদের এত ডাউনফল আনবিলিভেবল গাইস
pretty good time rebuffing them. They found that knock onto Godless. They haven't really given too many sightlines away, and likely they're going to have to leave. I think they're just going to go for it now.
Yeah, you can sort of see the difference in between our top teams as well as Vengeance here, especially in nade usage, because the first nade goes out, does a fair bit of damage, but then you can't just throw the nade in the same spot. You have to have it predict the left or the right there, depending on the audio cues. So they don't really find too much off the back of it.
Info ছাড়াই ফাইট দিতেছে নাকি
Another knock on side. Now, with Vengeance losing a
I
player without being able to rotate too far away from this position, IHC can gain more ground.
Wake up, bro!
And this will just be full-on war between Vengeance and IHC.
It's a north side of the road finish by the looks of things, which gives teams like Na'Vi, Furia a much
Trade
better
হয়ে গেছে
prospect into
একটা।
this one. As IHC continue to try to move past Vengeance, seemingly successfully.
Nice.
Two players now stand in their way. It is unfortunate. Alter Ego clashing with ASIA on the south side in the meantime. And then Cilio got a third party as well from the off angle down on the south side engagement. ASIA on the far side of it means that Alter Ego is bearing the brunt of this fight.
Good shots on the sidelines. You can see there. It has just been a full swap around between IHC and Vengeance. Now having to play on the edge of this compound. Moving over towards D-Move though. They can find him. That is the off angle taken down, but he's immediate on the retreat. No point sticking around for too much longer there.
Mo needs to hold this angle behind the ridgeline, but the wraparound comes through, has the backup now, and Noise really can't do too much here. You can't peek into two. They know that they've isolated this fight on this angle. However, one is good. Noise looks for a second as well. Popping up, popping down. Two players fall to the DBS. Is there backup? There's a third, and Noise is doing so much work against IHC here.
Man harais na bhai, man harais na. What the hell?
He's already sent away, trying to crunch on in, and now it's just Godless.
Oh, bhai,
on in,
seriously.
to try and make it work for them. They're both into the same position. It's a 2v1.
Impossible
It's
this
turned
shit, man.
topsy-turvy here, Blank.
Come on,
And
mate.
IHC might have had the last game of their day ruined.
This could be a great nade from Godless, depending on how he throws it. I mean, the time is limited though, as
এটা
this
কি
Molotov
রাইটসে
does
কি
stop
করতেছে?
that. They can't isolate that angle on the nade towards the sidelines. I think he's just running away to get away from the off angle. So sad there for Godless. I think that could have been a really big nade, but what a way to lose that fight for IHC. In the meantime, ASIA clean up onto Alter Ego, but in comes Nigma Galaxy. A high Molotov comes through from Snowix, who is leading the charge for the team.
Pushes them back off that ridge line. They know there's no close contact now in that smoke. Nuki already crawling back. UZM low. Narvalo going to make him even more vulnerable with the nade approach. There goes IHC in the meantime, by the way. That was held down, and TPs finds that final shot. UZM does fall, and now ASIA faltering in the face of Nigma Galaxy. That third place spot looks really tasty. Nigma Galaxy want to put another EMEA team up in there.
Yeah, 3 points already. Very nice stuff. Clearing out the south side fairly handedly as well. That's a lot of our southeast teams just gone. Leaving Nigma Galaxy, ASIA's final player, Falak, certainly not a player to be trifled with even as a solo, but it's Tongji Bao off towards that northwest side that I think Nigma Galaxy has to be very aware of going forward.
That western edge, although with the road as it sits, it's likely that it's going to be moving up to the north side of the road for the final circles, which means that TJB, whilst they have that high ground right now, they have a really strong oversight of the compounds that Roy, that Tiamba hold right now. They are going to have to leave it most likely, and it's a question of what information can they gather, what paths can they establish for their next rotate route.
Next circle, where's it go? Nice and central, supports Getso Roy or over towards Tiamba, actually moves far over towards that eastern side. So Furia, Falcons actually pick up a really nice compound, which has beautiful sightlines all around it. It is a little small in terms of compound, but it's difficult to crash upon because so many teams have sightlines over towards that area, which means that Na'Vi is likely going to have to play on this northwest edge for a little while longer and wait for some of these teams on that south side who do have that oversight to be forced to move out. But they're already picking up eliminations. They've got one. I think they found one of the players from IHC, one of the players that was knocked beforehand. Falak.
Uh-oh. Tilts the buggy up, gives them the underbelly and eats some bullets with the buggy, but Malloy nails the headshot through the ribs of the buggy, and it will take down the last player from ASIA. So third place is locked in at 125 points blank. IWNRX, because of the lack of chicken dinners, currently losing the tiebreaker. But on the south side of the road, it's likely that they get a little bit further into this one, staying alive for just the time being in the buildings they hold. Nigma Galaxy may look to crash it. TJB may also, but again, you're just going to have to go beyond that road on the next rotate.
I hate this Tongji Bao and Nigma Galaxy. What a horrid position to be in. I think if you are Tongji Bao, you're more considering making this northwest wrap
out of the
to try and potentially get some shots down and make a quick crash over towards Gets
সেম
the
ভাই
run. Enigma Galaxy though they find the back line as Tongjibao gets stuck into a fight with Vengeance on the
not
west
looking
side, so they
good
really can't help
ভাই
their other
সেভাবে
player here, and
মারা
Tongjibao
খাবে
should lose at least one on
impossible
this eastern edge.
Yeah, Long's going down. They're playing on as 3.
এসি শেষ ওদের থেকে ভালো ফিউরিয়া খেলতেছে হ্যাঁ ফিউরিয়া ভালো খেলতেছে ফিউরিয়া আজকের ম্যাচগুলো অ্যাটলিস্ট অনেক ভালো খেলছে ওরা লাস্টের ম্যাচটা তো চিকেন এনে দিতে পারতো যদি ওভার অ্যাগ্রেশন না দেখাইতো আজকে দান্তে খেললে এখন এটা হ্যাশট্যাগ মনে থাকতো
The blue zone's putting pressure on it. It's a stage 5 circle, which means it
ইনশাআল্লাহ ভাই আপনি
equally
বলছেন যে
doesn't
এটাই
hurt
অনেক
quite as much as
বেশি
Stoics with the DBS, but there's a response, and 676 with the pump action now spots both of the Enigma Galaxy players on the back line as Stunner goes on through the smoke to try and slow things down, allow a little bit of a response from TJB, but down on the back
আচ্ছা
line,
আপনারা যে ওর
Redox
উপরে
tries to
ভরসা
rain a
রাখেন
hail of
এটাই অনেক
bullets in,
বেশি
and
ভাই
in goes the melee combat, but 676 is ready for it. The pump action
ইনশাআল্লাহ
shotgun burst out wide,
দিন
and
আসবে
Redox
ওর
with another one with the DBS. A
shoot
1v1
something
now as 676 on the pump action. Low ammo count for the DBS, has to swap to the M4, go for those spray downs instead of having that close range one shot potential. Luckily, already damage done to 676, but he's looking to heal, getting out around it as well with the pump action once more. Redox needs to connect the spray, but it's not good.
Tianba
And
last man
676 takes down Enigma
kill him
Galaxy.
TJB
676 just cold as ice, man. It's actually brutal to go up against him, and Enigma Galaxy gets hit by a load of
Eganite
frostbite
out
and chopped off
Enigma
by the
Galaxy out
blue.
Navi
I don't
second
know,
এ
man.
চলে আসছে
676 quickly becoming my favorite player here on Tongjibao, which is surprising considering they're fielding Flower. But yeah, honestly, the clutch potential.
ফিউরি আজকে
Also, the fact
প্রত্যেকটা
that
ম্যাচেই
this guy's
পয়েন্ট আনছে
shotgun of choice is
এটা
the
বানতেছে
pump shotgun. It's
এটা
very interesting.
It's clean. I like
আমি
it. No messing. I mean, you only just peek out, go for the one
ফিউরিয়া ভালো
shot, tuck back
খেলতেছে
in.
হ্যাঁ
It
ফিউরিয়া
has a really
আজকে
high
ভালো
damage
খেলতেছে
count. Its range is
স্পেশালি
pretty decent as well.
অনেক ভালো খেলতেছে
It's a lot more adaptable.
ভালো
লাস্ট
করে
রোডে যে
খেললে
টিমে
এরকম
আছে অনেক ভালো
খেলতে
খেলছে
থাকলে কোয়ালিফাই 11 এ ঢোকা মনে হয় পসিবল
Liking it.
হ্যাঁ
Saw it a little bit back in EMEA as well, a couple of times, but
I mean, they'd wrap
কালকে
up the
6টা ম্যাচ
TCS.
তো 6টা ম্যাচে ওভারঅল
I think a lot of the time, yeah, you
ধরো
just
টপ
go for
11
what
এর
you
পয়েন্ট
down.
কত আছে
But it
কাট অফ
seems like
পয়েন্ট হচ্ছে
676,
85
like, he will forgo
ধরো
the
এখন
DBS
যাবে
for a
ধরো
pump shotgun. That's what he likes
90
to play with. I'd be
90
curious because I think I need
না
to read up on the
86 এ
TL.
ধরো কাট অফ কারণ হ্যাশট্যাগ 10
Just
যারা ওদের
because
হচ্ছে
I wonder if
3
it's
পয়েন্ট
a
নিয়ে
case
ওরা
that
আউট
that weapon is just stronger.
এই ম্যাচেও ভালো জোন পাইছে যদি পয়েন্ট আনতে পারে ভালো
হুম
For now, though, as a solo and out in the cold,
WNR
south
এক্সেন
side goes down to the
টিয়ান
laser.
বা
So first place locked
ফাইট
in at
করো
the end of the
একজন
day as
মরে যাও
well.
এক
Going
টিম
down in ninth, I think that's a
এসএস
placement
কই
point earned, if I'm not mistaken. TJB will be up to, what is that, 6 points on the game? Coming up to
কি যে
133, 143
ম্যাচের
points
এসএস
at the
কই
end of day 3.
দামতে পাই নিছে ওয়েট
RV with a pretty decent opportunity to rack up the points for it, but not if they go down against the shots from Falcons, actually third party
এই
in the
থেকে
engagement with Virtus Pro.
লতা
That is horrid to work with. Sixes down the back lines. I actually really wanted to see the Na'Vi back to back here on Miramar just for storyline's sake, but that nade should be the end of it for him. Flips forced to heal, now it's just Puncher left remaining. Tixie on the side, he's doing a decent job to keep himself alive there, but yeah, Na'Vi is now finished. Could have definitely been better. I don't think Na'Vi's too unhappy with how they finished today.
Big crash on the south
Furia.
side. WNRX have gone down as well. They tried to get across the road towards Tianba and just couldn't find an opening blank. They all went down, melted at the feet of Tianba. Furia find the same
কি
angle that
সিজে
Virtus
আজকে
Pro
এমন
found
হইতেছে কেন খেলা
on towards Na'Vi as well.
কি
হ্যাঁ
আজকে
Player side, it's just similarly
হ্যাঁ
almost
আজকের
impossible to
এক্সকিউজটা
discern
কি
from this. Virtus Pro
দুপুর
should be
থেকে
going
এই
down here.
অবস্থা
এই ম্যাচটা তো ভাই জোনের বাইরে
এই ম্যাচ কি পুরা ম্যাচই তো ধরো দুপুরের গুলা তো তার এরকম ইস্যু ছিল না দুপুর গুলা তো সব 0-0-0
দুপুরের গুলা তো আজকে
এখন একটা
কোনোটাই
লস
ভালো
I think that's
হুম
one of your. It's not a mistake that you want to make too often, but when you see those death threats, you want to take them. But it's easy for a team to rock up behind you and take the exact same positioning that you just dominated another team with. So yeah, good play from Furia.
গাইস
Picking
নিজেদের
up towards the
ফেভারিট
spot
টিম
nice and
গুলারে
early.
সাপোর্ট দেন অনেক সময়
Now we're looking over towards
ফ্যানদের
Falcons.
ইয়াতেও
117 points.
টিমের
Not a
পারফরম্যান্স
huge
ভালো
amount
হয়ে
of
যায়
eliminations, but they could see themselves into a nice
এই ফিউরিয়া
position
নক
for
খাইছ না
tomorrow.
নাইস
Even if
নাইস
they get
নাইস নক
130 points on this game, that still sets them ahead
টিয়ানবা
of
রয়
IWNRX in third
ফ্যালকন
place.
ভালো ভালো প্রেসারে রাখছে ওরা ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি খেলে অনেক সিমিলার গোস টু মাই টিম একদম আমার টিম আইএনএম এর মতো পুরা ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল খেলে চিকেনটা হারাইলে ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল খেলে খেলে
ফিউরিয়া যদি এই ম্যাচে
লাস্ট ম্যান
10 কিলো চিকেন পায় 20 পয়েন্ট
The question is how far up those tables can you get based on these positions. Tianba holding off a crash, have 5 eliminations.
নাইস
পুশ দে একটা ম্যানই আছে ফিনিশ
একাই মাইরা দিতেছে দেখছেন 1v2 অলরেডি 1v3 নাইস
with a third party angle isolating the fight to the south side of this compound, but
ইশরে
go down. A really nice off angle found, and the Molotov to force this fight. A third goes out, and it's all up to Zunda. He's in a 1 versus 1 now. Shan, who breaks out, hops over the wall.
তিনটা নক পারফেক্ট টাইম যদি ফিউরিয়া পুশ দিত
May be able to get the full reset.
Yeah, serious grimace on that fight for Tiamba. I think that they really thought they might be going down.
Falcon alive still.
Ridiculous success race coming through from the UMP silencing Tiamba's push
DP এর একটা ম্যান
yeah,
আছে
very, very well played. Look, terribly scary. And for Tiamba, it is really important.
এই
to get a good game
টাইমটাতে
off the back of this
পুশটা
one,
দেওয়া দরকার
especially right at the
ছিল
date. Those are the type of things
টিয়ানবারে
we'd like to see.
টিয়ানবার এখনো
They
দুইটা
can move up a little bit
করে
further on
না
that north side,
রিভাইভ
even use
করে
those loot
ফেলছে
crates to their advantage in terms of cover. Koa out in the open will have to break
ফ্যালকনে
out
মাত্র এক
on a
কিল
quick run as Falcons make their exit.
ফ্যালকনে এত প্যাস কেমনে ফেলতেছে
Size, but East knows already.
দ্যাটস মাই ক্র্যাশ
জিজি
জিজি বিফি গন
7 stages in, and the blue zone just bites you so hard trying to make those moves.
ফিউরিয়ার কাছে 3 কিল
Flexing out
তার
now.
মানে
Furia
8
have got
পয়েন্ট
so much oversight that they
এরে ওপেনে কে
Tianba making a bid for the center of the circle. Furia
ঢুকছো সিজি সবাই
need a little bit harder.
ঢুকতেছি
Starting to stretch out. Falcons goes down with 3 teams remaining. Keeping 4 players alive would be massively valuable, but it's just not going to happen there. Little cache of goodies on the corner for Tiamba to pilfer through, but have to head into the backgrounds very, very soon.
টিয়ানবা ভালো কিল পিক করতেছে ম্যাচ
Yeah, it was a good pick-off as well, and some good sprays coming through from the rest of the team, because essentially the reason they want to back both these teams off is just to get Bond up, to create that anchor point for the rest of the team to drag themselves over towards. And now Falcons and Furia both in a tight spot up top side. East with a
Knock
follow-up,
finish.
a great nade, which will at least knock one. But Tiamba starting to break out from their position. They know they need to create conflict here, as they do not have the high ground and are forced to play these weird little divots down towards the south side of the map.
Tiamba 9 eliminations. Looking to follow
9 kills
TJB
for
to
Tiamba.
12
Nades, by the way.
Looking 12 Nate, goodness me, okay.
Yeah.
A lot of ordnance then. These roll-ups for anybody who tries to get close to them is going to be so tough. A lot of those nades are because IWNRX just crashed straight on top of them, right? They gave them 4 full crates. They also picked through all of Get So Roy's. So they've had so much opportunity to get everything that they need. A perfect inventory layout, an optimal approach to this circle.
I don't know if it's optimal, because QZ has 12 nades and 80 bullets. But, you know, whatever works for him. And I mean, especially in a circle like this, there's no compounds, it's fully open terrain warfare. Maybe this is optimal for him right now, to have those 12 nades that he can just toss time and time again over towards them, because it is just going to be an onslaught of nades now coming through from
আরে
GC.
তিনবার পাশে থেকে
Here he goes.
সুন্দর সুন্দর ড্রপ পড়ে আছে
Unleash, but Furia and Falcons have
না ফিউরিয়ার এটা ভালো সুযোগ দুই টিম ফাইট করতেছে কিল নিতে পারবে মনে হয়
Gonna need 1 to hit. There's 3 launched, 1, 2, 3, but not going to go quite the distance they needed. Falcons into the middle of the circle. Tiamba with their ridgeline, they've been defending it for a while. Icy has the shack. A shot over towards Artisan as well goes through, and East picks up a point for the Falcons. A big nade over the
Nice.
top, and that's QZ of
ভাই
course.
জানেন ভুলটা কোথায় হয়েছে? ভুলটা সেই মুহূর্তে হয়ে গেছে যখন ফ্যালকন তিয়ানবাকে ওই থার্ড পার্টিটা করে নাই রয়ের সাথে ফাইটে। ওই মোমেন্টেই তিয়ানবা ম্যাচটা চিকেন পেয়ে গেছে, এবং থ্যাঙ্কস টু দ্যাট আই এম আউট গাইস। যারা ছিলেন আমাদের সাথে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। স্ট্রিমে লাইক দিয়ে পাশে থাকবেন, সাবস্ক্রাইব করে পাশে থাকবেন। দেখা হবে আবার কালকে ইন্টারনেট ফিক্স করে।
You only need 80 rounds in the back pocket, because all you need is just huge numbers of nades, and they can't move.
Falcon.
It's the last stage.
Nice try, but
I see on the
It
right side.
happens,
Again,
man.
that
Nothing to
little
do, bro.
door
We'll
there
make a
that's
bad
on the
decision,
outside,
and
kind of
that's how it
annoying for
works,
them to
bro.
deal with.
Ew,
But they know
very
they can
easy
get rid
lol.
of IC later on. I think they'd be best off throwing those nades over towards the right-hand side now that they know he's desperately not in the shack.
Yo,
Nice bounce off the top, though. If they can get two of those flowing through, that would be a knock on towards
nice.
Icy. He's only got one first aid kit remaining, but fully
Nice,
stimmed
nice,
up
Tiano,
here.
nice,
Gasol
nice.
takes a
GG,
volley.
man, GG.
Second nade.
GG,
Should
man.
have
Bujo na ba?
finish it unless Kaz can
Easy.
get him close, but no, it's not meant to be.
LMAO, lemao.
Very explosive way to
No
close
info,
down
right?
this
একটা
game
no
for
info, ভাই,
Tianba.
ও
Our
GG.
last game
গাইস
of
কি
the
তুই
day.
তিনটা নক করে দে
They've
আর
only got
আইসি
2
চিকেন বাইর
solos
করে
left
লাগবে
to
বুঝছস
handle.
না আচ্ছা নাইস
Ferocity
ট্রে
again
এই
needs
হেল্পগুলো যদি
more
তিনটা নক করতে
shrapnel.
পারতাম আমি আমার কাজ শেষ করে
Charging up
চোদনা
with
রাখো
explosion blast after
বাট
blast.
ফিউরিয়াস অনেক ভালো
It's
খেলছে,
only
অনেক ভালো
Icy
খেলছে।
left to stand. He's on the inside of the shack now. Grenade in through the window. Of course it is. Under his feet. It's not even needed. Just
GG,
set
Furious
quietly.
Tianba,
Full
Tianba
round
with this
weapon.
Easy
performance
peasy.
Tianbas are back
Through the
guys
sideline.
we're
Easy
getting shot
peasy.
back হয়ে গেলাম
Just so
আমরাও make sure to
controlling of a way to
subscribe
finish it out. A
অনেক
lot
কিল
of
like
এসেছে
and
about it.
share
Tianba.
ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে আবার দেখা হবে আগামীকালকে
They will
ততক্ষণ
climb
আপনারা
a
দেখতে
lot,
থাকুন
and
পয়েন্ট
they have
টেবিল
been
এবং কেউ দিয়ে হচ্ছে
slowly
আজকের
reaching towards
ধন্যবাদ
the top
সবাই
side of the lobby over
ধন্যবাদ
today.
সবাইকে,
So
প্লিজ
very, very well done
জয়েন
to
দ্য
Tiamba. But again, it's a very good understanding of that terrain going forward.
Furia.
In terms of just being like, right, we don't really need bullets in this last zone. What we need is nades. I think they had a total of like 20 to 30 between them. But yeah, fantastic stuff. And once again, it is really even towards the top six, John.
Absolutely brilliant stuff to close us down. Nade after nade pouring on in, and Tianba reap all the rewards they were looking for with the final chicken dinner of the day.
This is definitely proving to be the closest group yet in PMGC. Obviously, still one group left to go with Group Green, but my God, what could happen here?
Yo,
Any team could still go for top. Well, not any team. Both
Nah.
teams could still go for top 3 as we
People
see.
say.
Or potentially just top 11. Insanely close
I
across
missed.
the board, but again, these 3 teams that did survive another time. We've seen Furia.
ও এটা কি আসলেই? আমি দেখছি ওটা, এটা কি আসলেই?
Almost 3-4 games in a row for them.
ভাই এইটা কইেন না ভাই, অনেক একটা সাউথ এশিয়ান টিম এত জোশ চলতেছে, এইটাও যদি এই কাহিনী হয়।
I need to see something from Furia right now.
আমি তো ভাবছি রুমর।
Said that about Inco first week, man. Come on, like you just got.
ওই যে যেমন ইসেরও এরই মতো ডিএমআর এর রোনা কার জানি করলো না আগের রূপে, যে কোচ খারাপ ছিল না কি করছিল, ইশারা
For
মারছিল।
this game, they were in 6th place, 117 points, right? With this performance here, that should definitely put them in that running for top 3. And then Tianba, I mean, they were on the second page, 9th place with 85. This game is definitely going to put them in a good, solid spot. Tomorrow, they're going to have to go crazy if they want to make it a top 3. But you know what? It's a conversation now, right?
Yeah, I mean, before this game, Jason was saying, "Oh yeah, top 6 teams already competing for top 3." This game puts Tianba already in now the new top 6, which would be 7. The top 7 are going to be competing for the top 3 spots into the grand finals. Of course, it's going to be happening in London. So Tianba, great game, and the most important fight this game, just looking back, was clearly Roy versus Tianba. That fight resulted in whoever won that engagement to be able to play that ridge that
CMF Esports,
the third party
then we
versus
have
the side of Furia, and just get all the information you would ever need to wrap up that game in style. So that fight, I respect Roy for trying to go for the send it because it could have been invaluable if they won it, but Tianba won it, and that ridge was just too OP at the end.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta talk about this fight too.
Oh,
Bit,
yes.
right? Morbid with the 1v3 against Team Castle. That's gotta be brutal for them too. Hopefully they can kind of shake that off going into tomorrow. But man, yeah, that was a great play there from FaZe, trying to hang on. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to kind of make it, far into the game. But it's still good to see a little bit of sign of life from these squads. What a way to finish off the day, though, man. Tomorrow is gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, I think Max set up perfectly, right? If you want to contest top 3, you need to have shown up here, and that's exactly what Tianba did to put themselves within reach tomorrow. But there's still 7 teams fighting for 3 slots. You just can't. You can't have all 7 go through. Either you're going to get through from here, or you have to go through in the survival stage, and then hope you can make it to last chance. But then you have to get top 6 with the best teams. Well, I can't say
Do
the
they?
best teams in PMGC,
Easy.
the best teams already qualified to the grand
Easy.
finals, but with the best teams that are left here in PMGC, it really does get easier from here on, especially with the
Aman
different
kim kazo
groups and the styles they've played. Thinking back to Group Yellow, where it's very center play. Group Red's been more edge play. Who knows what Group Green's going to be? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's middle play. That's all I think.
In between the middle and the edge.
Exactly. But it's getting tough times here for all these teams. And I mean, Fury, I'm curious to see where they're going to be on our overall leaderboard because they've had so many top finishes. But last time we checked in, they moved up only one placing because they had so much work, so much catch up to do to even make any movement in our leaderboards.
Looking at the games here, especially Jason, when we're looking at how they're playing, it's not just, oh, we're going to play passive and try and get to the late game. They are taking really important fights. In this game in particular, Jukes, if we look back, that third party we saw happen from them onto the side of, I forgot which team it was. It was
PPS or YT.
That was the fight that allowed them to make it to top 3 in the first place. They are sending it so many matches in.
Max, 24 points. The next closest is 9.
That is a gap.
Yo.
Goodness
পরের
gracious,
পেজটা দেখি।
dude. They needed it so bad too. They needed it so bad if they even wanted a shot at top 3.
Oh,
They did
that's
exactly what they needed to do here. 24 points. I mean, clutch badge earned, right? I guess I'll give it to them for now.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I feel like you got 2 for now. We'll see if it's true clutch when we get into tomorrow. Taking a look down the list though, I mean, Virtus Pro, that was
Oh,
one
ভুলে
team
গেছি।
Furia was able to leapfrog though. I don't know if they're gonna be able to maintain that leapfrog here. But even with Furia's results with their late placings, I feel like they're not necessarily getting a ton of eliminations behind it, which means they don't make that big of movements in our leaderboards. It's a good list though. You can see, I mean, FaZe, we saw the 4 eliminations they got before. Ultra Ego with Rosemary coming back in, only netting themselves 1 elimination here. I'd hate to say it, Max, but with the way Ultra Ego are playing, it looks like they're not going to make top 11 at this point. And then even IWNRX, who had a decent start to the day, started to fall off as the day went on.
It was a PL-like day. After looking at who won and who keep making it towards the end, IWNRX were completely overshadowed by the Chinese players. And QZ, I said it before going into this tournament, I tell you, man, QZ is an MVP potential for not only maybe this group, also for the entire tournament, even though, of course, we're looking at Z-Wolf, we're looking at Flower, they've really been standing out. But yeah, it's a rough time for those bottom squads like Ultra Ego that I don't think they really know what to
Thank
do
you,
now.
sir.
Basically,
আল্লাহ
by
হাফেজ।
putting Rosemary
Thank
out
you
and
guys।
just playing
কালকে
against
আবার চলে
Lucia
আসবেন
earlier,
গ্রুপ রেডের
I
লাস্ট
think
ডে
they
নিয়ে।
kind of find something that works, but unfortunately in the
ঠিক
pressure, that's
4টা
really
বাজে,
hard to
4টা
find that kind of momentum.
45।
And as of right now, have not found it. Can they find in the last day? As of right now, I don't really think so, Jason. It's going to be